like actually make him smart.
You know what? You know what actually made me laugh though? I don't know if you guys saw on the site, and this is going to refer to the site here, but somebody put up a video of his stand-up when he did.
Oh yeah, he played a yuppie character.
Yeah,
back then.
and
he did.
So he's not a redneck at all, dude. He comes from like white, rich suburbia. What? His original stand-up act, it was all like an '80s yuppie thing. Like he was like came out wearing a
so
suit,
it's all a lie.
Yeah,
it's all a lie.
Yeah, he didn't have a beard or mustache or anything.
We've been bamboozled.
I've been hornswoggled.
You've been hornswoggled.
I've been bamboozled.
I feel all transmogrified.
Yeah,
you're just like Avril Lavigne.
I know.
All
and
lies.
he actually went by his real name and everything, Dan something or what's his real name?
That's like the gangster rappers who you find out came from like a suburban neighborhood. This is bullshit.
Yeah, it's true too, man. You know
It's
when
the
Snoop
Vanilla
Dogg goes
Ice.
home, he's like, "Oh wow, that was a completely exhausting day. Gerald, please get me a hot tea."
I'll have the malt liquor. Liquor. So we've done, as you can see, we've moved on from the top 5 now. One of the things I want to talk about with Will Ferrell having semi-pro out and the movie not doing all that well is the movie I'm not going to say got panned, but it got pretty mediocre reviews.
I don't think that had anything to do with why people didn't go see it, though.
No.
I mean, there are movies where people do actually listen to the critics. And they tend to listen to the critics more if it's a movie that's really good that they may not have gone to see otherwise than they will for something that the critics all hate that they're going to see anyway because of the star.
Yeah.
Like Semi-Pro. Because generally speaking, not across the board, but generally speaking, it was panned. Not to like the level of Larry the Cable Guy movie, of course. Because it's not
can
a
be that
terrible
bad.
movie.
I mean, hold on. Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you there.
Bless you,
So.
Korey.
It's not a
Bless you.
terrible movie. It's not awful. It's just not all that great either. It's like, man, you've seen this movie already. Just go rewatch one of the better ones. And I think audiences are just thinking, we have seen enough Will Ferrell playing this fucking character.
I've said this 100 times. What they need to do is they need him to go back and do some indie films that are more serious and do the serious roles for a little while and then go back to the comedy.
Now,
You said that like 101 times already.
He has said he would gladly do drama if someone else thought that there was an interest in it, because he has no problem with it, but he's like, he likes doing these comedies too. He said he'd be happy to the end of his life doing just comedies if that's what paid the bills and that's what people
Well,
wanted
you
to
bring
see.
up an interesting point. You're saying that the movie didn't do well because people are getting tired of seeing him play the same character. As much as I would like to think that is true, I don't think that is. One of the things that they pointed out about this movie is that it is rated R. And most of his movies have been PG-13.
True.
And those are the ones that have made money. So if you look back at something like Walk the Line, or not Walk the Line, but Walk Hard, that was another rated R movie that people had higher prospects for.
That was the funniest movie I had ever seen.
Walk Hard is
Nobody
fun.
saw it.
Walk Hard was much better than Semi-Pro.
Oh, it is. It is. No, it's leaps and bounds, man. But both those movies are rated R.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess that they'll still eat up what Will Ferrell does, but they will do it for PG-13 movies. And they're going to start saying, Will, you tried it with a rated R movie. Now you're going to have to make it PG-13.
Maybe so. And yet,
I can't wait to see Step Brothers.
And yet we had a lot of rated R major hits there in a row there. Films that no one even expected to do well, like Wedding Crashers. No one thought that was going to be the big hit it was.
No, they didn't, but it wasn't a Will Ferrell movie. We're used to seeing Will Ferrell do these movies in a PG-13
I agree.
environment.
I just think Will Ferrell, his stardom would even transcend the rated R thing, in my opinion.
I thought so, too.
I
thought
think that the
people have seen
suits
it.
are going to look at it the exact same way you are, but I don't think it's true. I don't think that's the reason why. I think it's that audiences are like, just tone it down, change it a little, change the formula a little. Because I remember when we saw this trailer, we went, "Really? Again? You just did this?"
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, God damn it!
It's just
again.
It's
Come
not
on.
even trying to cover it up anymore.
Oh man, please!
He just like puts slaps a different suit on himself and gives himself a different haircut, like you said, and that's it. It's other than that, it's the same fucking.
Didn't
movie.
you interview the guy, Korey?
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. I'm trying to look up the guy's name right here.
Will Ferrell.
Who this dude? Will?
What a dummy.
No, I'm trying to look up the guy's name who I want to. He sent me a message.
Who you want to? Oh wait, he sent you a message.
Yeah, so not Will Ferrell sent me a message, but some guy.
Did he say you better give that movie a good review, or you're going to be sleeping with the fishes?
No, it was actually the opposite. And
what he said, it sucked.
My browser crashed right here, man. I can't find the guy's name. I'll look up your name a little later and say it at the end of the program here. But what he said to me was, he was like, that was really cool, Korey, what you did by giving the movie an honest review. You interviewed Will Ferrell, then you went back and you panned the movie, and that's admirable because we know you guys are real. But at the same time, he said it must be kind of hard to do that, and I'm gonna tell you, it is, man, because
Did you fall in love with him or something?
I mean, I did. When I was in front of Will Ferrell, I was like,
Knew
wow.
it, Cyrus.
No. Will Ferrell was nice enough to grant. What's that?
Did you get a little starstruck?
I mean, I get starstruck so easy by everybody.
Did you kiss him on his cheek?
If it's okay, fuck off, man. You're just being silly.
Yeah. You like him, don't you?
It would be kind of hard not to get starstruck with Will Ferrell.
Well, I don't get starstruck anymore. If you want to know how it is to sit down and interview somebody, I will tell you. And we've all done this. I mean, even co-hosts has talked to George Romero at one time. I brought him. Yeah, I know. I brought him out
that's
one
my
time.
buddy. Don't bring him into this.
Yeah. I was like, I've done reviews.
Oh, you did an interview.
I did an interview.
We're gonna. In fact, you did it with John C. Reilly. We're gonna get. Now, did you see the archive section we have for reviews?
Yes.
We're gonna put it up in there. I just had, man, so much time.
I know.
So little time to do it with.
Hey, did you ever interview Paul Rodriguez?
Yeah, I interviewed him last week.
Paul Rodriguez.
And what
about
Cheech Marin from
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, I did.
still smoke weed?
Marin is relevant?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He's naming every kind of Mexican.
We know
out
what
there.
he. Yeah, don't ignore.
I talked to
Is
George
Carlos
Lopez the other day.
Is Carlos Mencia? Oh no, wait, he's not a Mexican.
How about Lou Diamond Phillips?
Oh yeah, him too.
He's
yeah.
not a Mexican.
He was in La Bamba, right?
He's
Cyrus,
an Indian.
Cyrus, Edie, y'all know how this boy is. Ignore him.
Boy.
What boy, Cyrus? Yeah, shut up. Ignore him.
You gotta have
Quiet.
a twig and berries to be a boy. I don't know what the hell he is.
No.
I just ignore half the things.
Yeah,
he said.
ignore him, please.
I know we can unplug him.
You
eventually.
shouldn't. You'd probably learn something.
Now, I really have to say that I don't get starstruck anymore, and we've all interviewed somebody famous. Yeah. And you go in, and if the person's cool, you're cool. And if they're a dick, then chances are you'll probably be a dick. And I have to say, I've met more people who are nice than didn't have been an asshole to me.
Oh, most of them are. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago at South by Southwest, and I don't know if I can bring that up or not, but
you can move into that mic a little bit.
Oh, I can. Okay,
no, open your mouth.
You can move in on this mic.
There you go. Yes,
Did
I
you
know.
hear my joke?
No, I didn't hear it. Thank God.
Okay,
anyway,
let me
tell you. No, a couple of years ago, I mean, we were hanging out at one of the parties, and of course during South by, you see all sorts of people there, and we were hanging out with Woody Harrelson for a while, and he was like the coolest, down to earth guy,
Well, he was probably
hanging
high,
out
that's
there.
why.
No, well, the reason I'm bringing him up is because he was in the Will Ferrell movie.
He was hanging out at South by Southwest in Austin. He was high. I can prove it.
He was actually but he's actually really cool. He was.
I didn't say that was a bad thing.
He bought a bike from a guy on 6th Street so he could ride the bike up and down 6th Street.
What a dummy!
It was hilarious. Most people are so down to earth. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, these people are cool.
Real, they're real.
No, and
we're used to seeing like the negative side of them from shows like TMZ, which is like when people say paparazzi in a bad way. Hello,
Britney Spears. Okay,
can we turn off her mic for a second? We're talking about the paparazzi that is bad, that go up, that constantly harass them, and yeah, they look like pricks sometimes. I'm sure anybody can be a prick when they want to be left alone, but when you're doing a press junket, the guy's gonna be nice no matter what. It could be the biggest dickhead in the world, and they're gonna be all over you to be nice. And it works great with Korey because Leon and I did a full analysis. We've known Korey for a long time and seen him do a lot of interviews. Like, here's the breakdown of a Korey interview. First, Korey sucks the guy's dick. Okay, is a back and forth dick suck. It usually starts with something like, "Man, you must get so much ass." It usually starts with something like that.
Kind of like the reviews he does with me.
He eases out the conversation like that, and then it turns back to, "I don't get any ass," and that type of thing. And then it's totally comfortable because we've established the dominant submissive relationship. And then after that, he can ask him something totally ridiculous and silly, like, "So is that a Jew fro or what?" And they're already comfortable because they're like, "Oh man."
No, you're right, man. No, you go in, you compliment the person,
yeah,
and it's a sincere compliment because they're coming in, they're granting you time for an interview. Will Ferrell really doesn't have to show up to sell this movie, except for maybe this one.
Well, what if it was Pauly Shore? Wouldn't you just go and ask him, "Why do you suck?"
I would never get on any sort of recording sucking Pauly Shore's dick in any way. I just couldn't do it. I'd be like, that would come up against me.
Why do you got to put those pictures in my head?
In my presidential run,
Pauly
they'd
Shore.
be like, "Well, here you are telling Pauly Shore he's really funny." Oh shit, it's over.
Yeah, no. I mean, we all have our limits, but with Will Ferrell, let me just tell you how it went down. I went in, talked to the guy. He was real nice. I mean, from the moment, even before we started rolling camera, he was a very nice person. So you do sit up there, you compliment the person, you say all these things, and then they appreciate it when you don't ask the same thing over and over again, because these press junkets are designed for you to sit down. They're short, and they want you to talk about the movie, and they don't want you to criticize it. They just want you to like bring up a question. The person talks about the movie, and it's instant promotion. I don't do that. I mean, I've even gotten people pissed off at me before, but I don't do that. And they appreciate it when you make jokes like, "Hey, is that your real Jew fro?" And they're cool with that.
Corey, interview me. Corey, interview me real quick. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah, why don't you ever shut the hell up?
Come on, come on. Tell me, ask me a question, Corey. Any question?
Okay, Mr. Co-Host.
This interview is over.
And that was how he would really be too.
Yep. Well, he could pull a Gary Busey over there, like Gary Busey. Is that what you were talking about?
And lick Corey's neck?
No, did you see Gary Busey
on the red carpet?
Yeah,
he licked Jennifer. Reportedly licked her neck. When
yeah, well, that one. But then he screamed at a little 11-year-old.
Did he? I didn't see that part.
Oh, you didn't see that part?
He did?
Gary Busey screamed at an 11-year-old?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
The next day he went on Ryan Seacrest and he said, well, I didn't know she was 11. She looked a lot older than that.
She looked a lot stupider than that.
How drunk or how messed up do you have to be to not be able to tell someone's 11?
He and Keanu Reeves were surfing all day, They were trying to bust this
she was
team called the ex-presidents.
Hey, she probably deserved it. She's probably being a jerk.
She goes, can you give a shout out, Gary Busey? And she's like, I don't shut up. Blah, 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 blah. Screaming at an 11-year-old.
Well, yeah, I agree with co-host. What does she do to bring that shit on herself?
Yeah. Does she think she's an interviewer or something?
What was she doing on the red carpet anyway?
She was doing something for a kids magazine or something.
Get out of here, stupid kids magazine.
We saw what
kids
happened
don't
with
read.
that when they interviewed Jason Reitman. He's standing there going, yeah, sure, I'll answer your question. The kid goes, so why does your movie suck?
No, I saw the interview where he was being interviewed by a bunch of kids.
And they're so hard on him. They're just being like, man, you really think your movie's going to win an Academy Award?
Jason Reitman, who directed Juno, was surrounded by a bunch of kids, and the kids were asking him so what do you do? And Jason Reitman's like, I directed Juno. What does that mean? You directed?
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
And it's a good
see, that's great.
Those kids are cool.
It's a good point because they know just enough to know. Look at all these other people. It seems to me like every single base is covered here. So what the fuck does a director do anyway? You just sit there because I worked at a fast food place and I had a boss that did nothing but sit in the office and play solitaire.
Who are you and why should I care?
Yeah, exactly. It was that kind of thing. But usually, if you're cool, not like these kids, but if you're cool, the people are cool. So just to boil it down for this guy who complimented us on being honest and whatnot, yeah, it is hard after you do a really nice interview with the person because unlike a lot of people who they thrive on looking at bad shit just so they have enough material to be snarky with. And we don't do that. I mean, we don't want to go to movies and look at them and walk out saying they're bad. We want everything we see to be good. So there's no reason why we're walking out of Semi-Pro just to spite Will Ferrell. So yes, it was hard to sit up there saying that this movie was bad. And I wish I could have. That's why I kept saying over and over again, Will Ferrell is really talented. He should do better things because I do think he deserves better. And
you must have carefully crafted that to keep your brain from exploding because I know you had already seen the movie when you interviewed him, and you're just sitting there going, "Man, you had to be just wishing you could get away with going, what the fuck, dude?"
If me and Will Ferrell were in a bar drinking, I would have been like, I really would. I would have had a couple. I would have been talking to him and said, "Why the fuck you still doing this?"
On the other hand,
and you know what he would have said? He would have said, "It's a paycheck, stupid."
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, because right now they said, "Hey, man, you want to go be like Larry Cable Guy's sidekick in a movie?" I'd be like, "Fuck you!" Like, pays like $150,000 a year. I'd be like, "Sign me up."
How much did he make? You've
done worse things for far less.
Damn right.
Yeah. How much did he make for this movie? Do you know?
I
have no idea, but I'm sure he's probably now in the $20 million range.
Yeah, well, if they're paying J-Lo that much, they can pay him that much.
Yeah,
too.
They pay J-Lo. What do they pay? But paying tacos? Get it?
God, I had to.
Well, she's Puerto Rican though, right? Right?
I don't know.
She's Puerto Rican. You should know this. Come on.
Don't
all you guys live together?
I do not know the genealogy of every.
Oh, I thought you guys all lived in the same house. My bad.
Yeah,
well, I cannot wait to hear the comments on this. I'm not editing any of this out, by the way.
What? What do you mean you're not going to edit?
Come
on.
Turn down the volume of the master control prick over here. What the hell?
Okay.
I love Edie. She's awesome.
I love the co-host.
What?
I love you.
You telling me you love me? Me playing with my heartstrings like that?
I know.
I don't believe in love. I don't believe in it. I tell you.
You got no heart. What are you talking about?
I can
no,
make
Corey
you
took
turn
it out.
into a little.
Sold it for $5 on eBay.
I can make you turn into a little puppy.
What? Little puppy? Oh, I'm about to pee on you right now. Talking like that.
This is just getting weird.
Quiet, you. Weren't we supposed to ignore you?
Let's move on to what else I want to talk about here. Now, everybody's going crazy over this who's this boy? Iron Man trailer.
And rightfully they should. I think co-host.
That's a good one, Corey.
Wait a minute, what was that?
I think co-host and I can agree on this one. They should. That Iron Man looks like it's going to be badass.
Oh,
you and me, yeah. Aren't you excited about Iron Man?
No.
What? No.
Why am I excited about some dope getting dressed up in a robot costume?
Oh, he is lying
know,
so
he's
hard.
Hey, co-host, isn't that your people?
He is shaking.
Is that your brother?
No,
I mean,